Good evening, Rush Nation. Welcome to the 5 Yard Rush NFL podcast. I am your host, the Joel Hewitt, and as always, I'm here with the boys Pete, the off-season champion, Melia, and Alex to the one Woods. How the devil we doing, fellas?
All good. All good. Excited.
Two thumbs up. Two thumbs up
thumbs
from
up.
Pete.
Two thumbs fresh.
Settle down, mate. Settle down. I've seen that we've just instantly lost access to Twitter, which Murph had managed to fix the stream. So I assume that maybe they think that our intro music that I made is copyrighted in some way. So we'll work on that one another time. But enough of that. Welcome anybody watching. We're finally the moment that you've all been waiting for. The NFL draft is in 2 days, but the real moment that you've been waiting for is our first and only annual mock draft of the first draft. You got annual if it's your first one.
It will be. It will be
the inaugural annual mock draft.
Mock you all.
The first one, and we'll only put one out. Alex has been squirreling away. After months of teasing the big board, he has it ready in waiting, and we all can't wait. We're going to do it group style, in the sense where we're just going to go pick by pick through the first round, 1 through 32, and say who we kind of come to a consensus agreement on. Alex and Pete, you know a little bit more, so I guess I would be here to split the vote if anyone was super passionate, and then in the next show we'll have a look and see how well we did. I'll score us as the draft actually happens. We'll pick up on a little bit of news here and there as that comes around, but we want to crack on?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me do the old show on stage, and boom, there we are. We are on good old PFF's mock draft simulator. Thanks to the people at PFF for letting us do this. They have no idea. Let's see how many copyright strikes we can get in one show, I say. They're not watching. They're busy. It's 2 days before the draft. They don't care about us.
We'll see.
So I've set us up. We're picking for every team. We are on the clock as the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, hear me out. I would like to just put this out there. And throughout the draft, I don't think we necessarily have to go with what we think they are going to do. It could be that if you want. It could be what we think they should do. I'm happy to go either way. But Alex, you've got to start us off on the big board. Who's the number one going to the Las Vegas Raiders?
It's David Bailey, a linebacker from Texas Tech. No, I'm joking. No, it's Fernando Mendoza. This has been circled since the Raiders got their number one pick. It's very
January.
Let's do it. He's the best guy for this. And the question of it has always been, oh, is it going to be him, or is it going to be the player that they bring in to start behind him and do whatever? More speculation is that possibly might be even the case throughout training camp, and we're going to get a lot of editorials of, is he ready? Is the kid the best? Is he this? Is he that? Is he the other? No, he's just a standard, really good QB that can throw a ball really, really well.
Yeah, and he'll either thrive or he won't. And I know that's an obvious thing to say, but we've seen it a million times with bad teams, because let's not pretend the Raiders are anything other than the Raiders. They've got the number one pick for a reason. They've really out-jetsed the Jets on this one. So they could just still ruin the poor guy's career, and maybe we're here for it. I like this on PFF, that we can see the trends that people that are mock drafting. We can see what the consensus is. God bless, 2% of people are saying that there's a chance that he slips to the Jets at 2. I would like to see what they were taking at number 1 in that case. But let's go. Let's do it. were on the big board who drafted Fernando Mendoza. Lots of handshaking in the war room, some high five, some phone calls. And actually, speaking of which, they've reduced the clock, haven't they, this year?
Yeah.
Did you see that one? It's down from 10 minutes for the first round to get through that a bit quicker. And I was horrified to find out that in, I think, 2008, it was 15 minutes. And
wow,
Christ alive, it's long enough as it is now. I didn't used to stay up and watch it back then, but I reckon I could probably make.
How many picks could the Vikings miss with an 8-minute clock? They get through loads, couldn't they?
Hopefully, a bunch, just for a laugh.
Yeah. Or just Jared
speaking of,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say, speaking of a laugh, another team that are in it just for kicks, the New York Fighting Jets. The PFF's got their needs down as QB, wide receiver. I assume edge rusher and corner. Pete, you got any? Are we going for any of these? Have you got any ideas of what you think they would do or what you think they should do here, Peter?
Yeah, there's been kind of two schools of thought on him. It's very much a two-horse race between Arvell Reese and David Bailey. The early kind of consensus here was that Reese, who's kind of an off-ball, an outside linebacker, so he can kind of like a Khalil Mack where he can play outside linebacker and can play edge. He was the early favourite, but there's a lot of talk today in particular that David Bailey's now the preferred pick. Reese was more productive in college. David Bailey wasn't that far behind, to be fair, and is a phenomenal athlete. My gut tells me that they take David Bailey because edge rusher over linebacker is more valuable in the 2026 NFL, and they've got more expensive contracts. So I think they go with Bailey. Is my feeling here, and I think it'll be fantastic for them. His RAS score was like 9.64, so tested out really, really well as passing the eye test at college. It seems like a no-brainer pick here.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Absolutely, completely agree with you. As it says on the screen in front of us, gifted athlete, and when you are drafting this high up the board, a gifted athlete is what you want as well. You want all of this amazing stellar thing. As Pete said, he gets to the QB, he rushes that pass absolutely enormously. His first step is phenomenal. But what he does is he gets through it, and he does that because he's an elite athlete. I'll work it out. I completely agree with you. I think that's the pick they make.
Yeah. Edge rusher always a more sexy pick as well. It gets the people going. Like I can't see any issues with that. But the poor guy has got to pay all that tax in New York, and here he is on the Jets. Now I think in our doc, I've got like a team that could absolutely mess up the NFL draft, and I don't mean miss a pick or anything like that. I think the Cardinals do something stupid here. All right. I don't know what it is, but I've just got a funny feeling that somehow people are going to go, oh, no, you either don't need that guy or you've picked somebody way higher than you should have. I think people are going to be annoyed at the Cardinals pick there. And there'll be lots of talking heads saying they should have traded down. They could have still got that guy. Yada, yada, yada. That's just my prediction for the Cardinals, just really making a farce of having a decent pick with a bunch of players that they can actually use. I'm going to take a shot here and say that Arvell Reese is the obvious choice. The big board thumbs up from Alex for the aforementioned reasons. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock him in.
Yeah. They need the position, they need quality players, and unlike some of the really bad teams here, they're not awash with a load of picks. So they need to hit. So I think play safe, get need and talent all in one hit. It seems like a no-brainer to me.
And that duo of Arvell Reese and Josh Sweat is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. Let's see how long
Yeah.
CMC lasts next year.
Oh gosh, yeah. Man's made of biscuits.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like the bottom of a biscuit barrel. And again, that's a good choice. I'm saying that they mess it up somehow in some way. Like they've left their shoelace untied, and they've done something, and they've accidentally written a name, handed off to Roger Goodell, who made it all the way to the stage, read out a name, and then it was like, what? And it's like, that tripped.
The only way that they
drafted Caleb Downs.
The only way that they could mess this up is if they trade out of that position.
Yeah, and for this exercise, we're doing no trades, right? We're just assuming the players stick.
Yeah, we assume that. I mean, we could obviously speculate. There's a lot of talk of the Cowboys moving up into the top 5, depending on who's still around. Could end up in that third spot if the Cardinals are smart and get a bevy for them. But yeah, we're not going to do any trades because we could be here all day saying, well, putting out cigars and be like, I don't know. I think I'm going to need a third in 2027 as well on top of that. Go ahead and bring me pictures of Spider-Man. Just thought I'd chuck that one in there. Tennessee Titans, big board. You two haven't shut up about him, but I'm assuming the big board says Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
The big board does say Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. You know what? I wish we had like an official, or at least access to the official X account here, because I would, after this, love to tweet out a picture of the big board. If Alex, once you're done, if you could get me a screenshot of it, I'll send it to CEO Murph, and I'll get him to fire it out there and just see what people think of Alex's big board. To the thousands of people that follow, I'd be interested to see from that. Jeremiah Love, talk to me. Like, he can't be that. He can't be like this generational, oh my God, talent. Like, running back at number 4 is high.
He is. He is, basically. Although we seem to say that every single year. Last year, obviously, Bijan was that, and then it was what's his face went to the Raiders last year. Genty was just this absolutely blue player, but he predicts exactly the same way as well. He's been phenomenal in college, and I think he'll continue to be phenomenal as well.
On the Titans.
Yes. I know that the Titans are like the Titans now, and they've got a whole new coaching staff and stuff. They do have like franchise history of getting good running backs going. Not just obviously the king that is Derrick Henry and all that lot, but they do have good history. And immediately, the good thing about Jeremiah Love going in there is he's immediately running back 1.
To give you an idea, at the end of these stats were from end of December. Can't get the final stats. He had where's it gone? 226 touches for 652 yards, 21 touchdowns. He is the heir apparent to Derrick Henry on the Titans. And it's important for them as well because it helps Cam Ward. It takes a lot of pressure. Having that outlet in the passing game and having a really good running game really, really helps Cam. So I think that's, although it seems high for running back, I think running backs aren't really running backs anymore. They are gadget players when they're used correctly. So it's a nice pick.
Yeah.
Do they have any more picks in the first round? The Titans, is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. A little part of me is. It's nice having weapons, but when you've got to do things like stop Cam Ward from freaking out, and he's going to have his sophomore slump as well. I know you can't pass up on somebody like Jeremiah Love, but I wonder if that's not the smartest move. Or, hear me out, I've got an inkling that New York trade up and just swap places with the Titans there, give them something as well, because the Titans are on the phone going, we're going to take him. We're going to do it. We know that you'd love to have him. Let's see. We've got the Cowboys on the other line. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's that, Jerry Jones? Yeah, that. Oh, no. Oh, hold on. Sorry. New York would like. They would like to make a deal. I can just see somebody nicking that.
And do you know what? If they do that, I think drop down and get Ruben Bain and get that edge that they need as well. It could be a win-win for them. It could all be a lot of smoke and mirrors for like Jeremiah Love, and they actually want to go edge. Just flush someone out to chase above them.
And then if they do that, the Browns, Commanders, and the Saints are all going to scramble off their board and fight amongst each other to try and get Jeremiah Love. Every single one of these people want this guy. He is that good. If you you want to talk about someone messing up the draft, if the Titans don't take Jeremiah Love here, they've messed up the draft.
Well, the problem is like the Cardinals could mess up the draft and take Jeremiah Love, even though they need all of these things. They could just be like, "No, you can't have him. He's ours to injure." You know,
and again, that would be absolutely great for the Cardinals because it would actually make them interesting.
Poor James Conner.
It would make them interesting. Like that running back duo would be absolutely phenomenal. Like who's going to be the lead back that's going to take majority of the touches? It's going to be James Conner. Who's going to be the punchy running back? It's going to be Jeremiah Love. Who's going to get all the headlines? It's Jeremiah Love. Who's going to take it off the fact that James Conner signed there for mad money? Jeremiah Love. It's fine. Like if the Cardinals take him, the Cardinals take him, and then it means that the Titans can take Alvaro Reese and have that massive, absolute class player that they need.
I think also we need to take into account that Jeremiah Love is going to sell jerseys, and the Titans just changed their jerseys. So what they want to do is to be able to fill that stadium with new Jeremiah Love, baby blue, boring as heck Titans jerseys. So yeah, that'll do, Pig. The New York Football Giants shocked the world. As you can see, obviously, they've got the number 10 pick by making the trade with Cincinnati, which, Alex, you're on record for saying that they were fleeced here?
No, I think the
Giants. Or is it the other way around?
Yeah, I think the Giants won. Yeah, 100%.
And Pete, you're a fan of Dexy. What are you thinking?
See, if the Bengals had a competent front office, I would say this.
They don't. Just for everyone now,
they do not. They do not have a competent front office, so I don't trust them with that 10 overall pick. And it's not a particularly great draft this year. Anyway, not a great draft class. So the elite defensive playmakers that they want, most of them will be gone by 10. So why not? You've got a short window while Joe Burrow's still alive, because the way they protect him, he's only got a couple of years left. So just maximum that window. You've still got Higgins. You've got all of those weapons on the offense. It just seems crazy that they've done this now when they just as have let Trey Hendrickson go. Like for the money you're paying for him, you could have paid Trey Hendrickson. I know he's a few years older, but you'd have still had a top 10 pick as well. And I know one's a defensive tackle, one's a defensive end, but losing one major part of your production to gain another, it seems a shame, to be honest.
These are the trades that I do on Madden. Literally, like lose one part to replace him with a slightly better part, just on the same line. And I'm like, I'm a GM, baby.
They could have just changed their scheme, because at the moment, what they play a 4-3 at the moment, the Bengals. So they could have just changed it and played 3-4, and never made it so that he could have get more touches and done that.
Alex, is your phone ringing right now? It's the Bengals front office being offering you some money.
It's also very true. Yes, Zach Taylor, by the way, greatest head coach in the league. Just saying.
Love that. I'll clip it out. I'll put it out there. We'll see what happens. He'll see your big board and he'll be like, "Oh, this guy knows ball. Let's do it." But speaking of the New York Football Giants, they're still on the clock. They need things like wide receiver, guard, linebacker, and safety. Although they might not need wide receiver because Alex reckons that they're going to re-sign Odell Beckham, which is good for people who bought jerseys because you can rewear those, can't you? You definitely didn't burn them, so that's good for you. But what are they doing? What do we think? I can't predict the big board on this one. If I'm me, I go, well, take best player available, and then you go Sonny Styles.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Personally,
Somebody talk to me about Sonny.
I think I know what to do 5 on 10. And
Is
I think
is Sonny a weaver or anything? I don't.
He is definitely a junior because his dad is an absolute beast. Like his dad is a weapon.
AEW, oh no, TNA legend AJ Styles, I assume.
yes. Yes.
Dad just retired from wrestling, so he's going to make his way into the NFL. Got it.
Of course. Yes. But Sonny Styles is phenomenal. Yeah, he's incredible.
Oh,
and,
like the phenomenal
AJ Styles. Thank you. The really fun thing is not a lot of people were really all over Sonny Styles. Like he was predicted to go mid-late round, like if we were talking about this like February time. And then the combine happened and he had just disgusting numbers.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like what top 1% in everything that matters in his position. It wasn't even like, oh yeah, no, he had a great combine. He had an absolutely unreal combine. He like broke records and did everything that he should have done. And that is what put him into this kind of area of it. And yeah, he can play football and he's really good at the position he is, but he is a freak athlete.
Yeah. 9.99.
His age is 21.4, by the way.
Yeah. Young, 99.9 RAS score, and his for productivity out of linebackers in the Big Ten in college, he's the 4th most productive in the last 20 years. In fact, since 2023, according to Next Gen Stats, it was AJ Hawk, Devin Bush, Ryan Shazier, and then Sonny Styles.
Is this going to be the absolute, not steal because he's 5th, but that's going to be the one where everyone goes, everyone above you might have been better off taking like Sonny Styles. This is how he kind of
feels. Devalued the linebacker position, and that's what's dropped him a little bit. I think so.
I mean, I slightly disagree with that because of other reason. David Bailey have had phenomenal college careers. Like they have been absolutely incredible, and what they've done on the field has got them talking more than kind of Sonny Styles. Not calling him a social media viral pick because he is, as Pete just said, phenomenal, and like in that list of names that he's listed, that's great company to have, and all of them had really good NFL careers. And Sonny Styles, if he carries on the way he will have another good one. But you can't like David Bailey and Arvell Reese are getting 2nd and 3rd picks for a reason. They're phenomenal players.
Fair enough. On to the Cleveland Browns. And in one of my predictions for this draft, I put that the safe option out of the whole draft is just that the Browns are going to take a wide receiver. Just plain and simple. They need it. It's a relatively like sexy pick anyway. They can try and get some chemistry with whoever the hell ends up starting for him at quarterback. I know it says here needs QB, guard and tackle, but you've got to think. If I just bring up just the list of wide receivers, you can't really go wrong. I've seen a bunch of just highlights of stuff on Tate and Tyson, I think it was. I assume best wide receiver taken, you go Carnell Tate, do you?
Yeah. I think I've seen quite a lot of mocks of Tate to the Browns. It's an interesting situation there because their quarterback room sucks, and there's talk that Deshaun Watson's going to get shot as QB1 next year in the year 2026, which says an awful lot about what they think of that QB room. But I think if you're not giving up on those quarterbacks, you've got to see, if you're seeing what they've got, get them weapons. Wide receivers are some of the most expensive players in the league. They're in an elite position. You've got an elite talent in Kyle Tate. I think it looks fantastic. And they need all the help they can get as well. And I think they're going to need to be able to stay in scoring distance of the likes of the Bengals this year.
I want to come to the big board in a second, but we've got Nicholas Thompson 2752 because Nicholas Thompson 1 through 2751 was taken. Why does everyone think Love is going to the Titans? And see, this is what I'm talking about. They have so many needs. He's going to run behind a horrible offensive line and be worse than Genty. I don't know if you can get much worse than Genty. I drafted Genty to my fantasy team in high hopes, and I regret it. I don't even know if I've got him in a dynasty now, to come to think of it. But yeah, I agree with Nicholas here. I don't think the Titans should be taking running back there. I think running backs second day kind of picks traditionally in my eyes. Definitely not a top 5, but if he's generational, he's generational.
Yeah, I think it's not just about the line. I think they're not as bad as they're being made out there. They're not great, but I think they're a solid line, and I just think it's a weapon. It's not just a running back like Jeremiah Love, like I said earlier on, isn't just a runner. And I think if you view him as purely a runner, then there's going to be an issue. But he can block, he can pass, he's an outlet. So if that line does break down, he can get out there. He can actually do a good running back of that talent can go a long way, and he's probably takeaway positional value. He's probably the best player on in the draft in terms of pure talent. In a talent poor draft, I think that's why they go that way. But like we said, I could see why it could go a different way as well.
I completely agree. I just think having that weapon in your back pocket takes so much heat off other people. Now, the reason why Austin Gentry didn't perform could be because Geno Smith, and everything's Geno's fault. Could be that the Raiders were just an absolute garbage fire. Could be. But I don't think the Titans will be that much of a garbage fire than the Raiders were last year. I think with Jeremiah Love, the Titans could quite easily go 500.
Yeah.
Ooh, bold. And give me the big board for the Browns. Are you saying taking a receiver there, or have we got any spicy picks from Alex yet?
No, I have taken a receiver, but I've not taken the one that you think. I've taken Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, okay. Jordan Tyson, as I said earlier, is the one that I've heard nothing of. I'm going to butcher this. Makai Lemon?
Yeah. Makai Lemon.
You've not seen the really weird draft interviews where he looks incredibly sinister?
I don't watch interviews with these guys, man. I feel for them every time you see anything. There's nothing going on. They're dead behind their eyes. They have to give real structured answers to anything. Even when somebody's saying to Mendoza, like, "Oh, do you think that you're gonna get drafted by the Raiders?" He's like, "I don't mind where I go." Like, it's still to that point where they just have to be so agnostic from anything that it winds me up whenever they like drag him onto Good Morning Football.
He's the opposite. The difference with Makai Lemon is you're dead behind his eyes. It's terrifying. It's worth checking out.
Do you remember like early 2000s, like Undertaker, where like all his hair would fall in front of his face and his eyes would just go pure white? That's like what you can imagine Makai Lemon does in every interview. And he just like deadpans all of his answers in this really monotone, sinister voice. He is weird, but that's not the reason why I didn't take him. The reason is because the main reason I put down here on the big board is that Tate is the guy that you probably should take at 6, but it's the Browns, and they're going to fall in love with Jordan Tyson's speed and athleticism and go, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do that. Let's get the steal instead of going for the guaranteed guy. But obviously there's the Ohio State connection, so you can make 6 and 2 threes of it.
Yeah, hometown boy always goes well with the fans as well as shirt sales, and I think that's why I think Kyle Tate has the edge there.
Yeah,
It's one or the other for me.
I'm gonna have to split the diff out here. I'm gonna go just because I like a hometown hero, even though I do enjoy it, a spicy pick, and I'm technically an Arizona State fan because of Scatboo, and Pete and I have to go see them later in the year. But Cardinal take, you are a Cleveland Brown. Also, great news. That means Tyson's going to get a chance somewhere else better. So
I wonder where that could be.
We've saved him. It could be anywhere. Could be Washington. Could be New Orleans. Could be anywhere. Could be the Saints. Could be anywhere. Could be New Orleans, Louisiana. Could be anywhere. Could be under the Caesar Dome. Could be anywhere. Could be to the Washington Commanders, who love a controversy, regardless of what they do with their name, with their uniform, with their logo. We've got Native Americans coming out saying we don't use spears. We've got Native Americans coming out saying love the spear. We've got people coming out saying why don't they go back to their old name? We've got people saying, gosh, they should never go back to their old name. All they did was put an arrow through a W, and I've seen 4 different outlets have a full-on page article about it. And you know what I did? I read them all because we're in April. So that's where I'm at. The Washington Commanders. I'm just going to go straight to the big board on this one. Alex, what do they do?
I've got them taking Mansour Delane, cornerback.
Mansour Delane, corner from LSU.
Yeah.
Best corner on the in the draft, is he? Yeah, top choice or most drafted. I guess I'm just going ADP here because I don't know. Yeah, well, I can't even remember who Washington's corner is currently.
They are. I'll tell you who's up there.
Do they have one?
Corner.
Yes.
Right? Their starting corners are Trey Amos and Mike Sunristel.
I really like Trey Amos, the way that she's got that glove that makes that woo sound, which makes music. That's a Tori Amos joke, Alex. You won't have heard of them.
I've not. I must admit, no. That is.
Give Tori Amos a look. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's there. I must admit, I apologize.
Interesting. What I do like, and I was saying this to Alex earlier, the PFF don't have corner down as one of their needs, but the big board, Alex's one and only big board for the season, has them needing a corner. So, I'm leaning toward it. Pete, what do you think? What do you think they need?
I think the secondary needs help. So I think either this or Caleb Downs makes a lot of sense. I think wide receiver does too. They've got just hot trash. It's Scary Terry and then Van Jefferson as their second best receiver. They need help at wide receiver, but I just don't think the value is here at 7th. So I think in reality, they probably trade back. They will move back for somebody that wants like a Ruben Bain or somebody like that. But for the purposes of this, it's a Downs Delane shootout for me. I think any help that they can get, help that defense take some pressure off Jaden Daniels. And it's all about helping Jaden Daniels next year. It has to be.
The reason why I didn't put Caleb Downs here, because he is talented. He's just not a good dude.
Okay.
Oh, Caleb Downs, you are a Dallas Cowboy.
Don't spoil it, man. Don't spoil it. He's just not a good dude. It's not been really played up in a lot of press for drafting, which I think Caleb Downs' agent has done really well of. But obviously, he quit on his team during the playoffs of the college, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Took himself out because he wanted to get drafted. Didn't cost his team anything or doing out like that. Like there wasn't an issue, but quit on his guys. Knew he was getting drafted, just quit on him. And like, if you sit down with a bloke and say, "Hey, why did you do this?" and he goes and gives you an answer you don't like, then you're not going to draft him. And the Washington Commanders may be a backwards unit in a lot of things. Their name is one of them, but they don't draft D-holes. They don't draft them.
This conversation will come full circle when the Cowboys trade up.
Yeah.
To get down.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely fine. Like we'll come back to Caleb Downs because he does get drafted quite soon in the big board. But we'll come back.
So we reckon, quite possibly at this point, Cowboys come up to 7 and take Downs because Pete said Washington trade out. Alex is saying that he's an arsehole, so he's probably going to go to somewhere where arseholes play, and that to me is Dallas Cowboys. However, and just to mess with PFF, I like that I'm with the big board on this one. I think that we go ahead and just drop Mansour Delane in there. Good name as well.
Yeah, really good name. Really good.
Yeah, some decent names in this draft. The New Orleans Saints. Gee, I wonder what we could end up with, what we need, or any of that good kind of stuff there. Although, look, hear me out. Like, I'm jumping straight to wide receiver. I've seen most people at this point say that Ruben Bain Jr. is going to the Saints, and that would be really, really fun. And I would like that. That would be my choice here if he makes it to here, which I assume he will. And I assume the Saints also think the same. The issue that you may have is Kansas could just they know I don't like them. They could end up just jumping ahead of the Saints to where Washington are and then steal Ruben Bain Jr., in which case the Saints take a wide receiver. But I'm taking this out of the hands of the big board, and I would love to see what other people think, but I am drafting Ruben Bain Jr. to the New Orleans Saints. Is that a consensus from the squad?
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
I think it's the right pick.
I'm pleased with that, actually. Yeah. I'm quite happy. Like, the Saints notoriously are kind of boring in the first round, if we're even in the first round some years. And it usually I have to stay up a little bit later, but we kind of suck recently. So top 10, I can stay awake for that. Get a little edge rush from Miami, from the U. And then on to the
wide receiver later with that.
Yeah, I mean, second round, get somebody in there. Look, we've got Olave. He's a good receiver. Like, yes, we can still do with some more, but like, you can get a day 2 guy and Olave still be the number 1 receiver on the team. Perfectly fine with that.
I think for the Saints, the only person that would make them go wide receiver is Canal Tate. I think if Canal Tate is still available, then they might look into going wide receiver. I don't think they want anything else. They want a similar kind of level of over the top kind of dude that can do this, but they also need that real big help on defense. It is a real flip of the coin. Take the player that you want there, because obviously Cam Jordan's not getting any younger, and they need somebody similar that is going to be able to absolutely just destroy minute 1, day 1. And Ruben Bain Jr. is that guy. Like, if you think about it, when we were looking at February, just before the Super Bowl, Ruben Bain Jr. was getting drafted before Sonny Styles was getting drafted. It's only Sonny Styles' freak combine that's pushed Ruben Bain Jr. this far down. He was going Giants 5. He was even getting pushed maybe the Titans at 4. Like, he was that guy that was getting really, really drafted high. But that Sonny Styles freak combine has pushed his draft stock down just a little bit.
Hear me out. Let's say Sonny Styles doesn't go to New York and they take Ruben Bain because they dig their heels in. They say, we liked him before all of that happened. Does Sonny make it past the Browns and then the Commanders and end up in New Orleans Saint anyway?
No.
Cleveland Browns love a Sonny.
You think he's... yeah. There we go. There we go.
Personally, if you keep it that way, I think the Commanders would absolutely snap him up. I think that would be their pick instead of Mansour. If Sonny Styles was there, then they can go and do that. As you see, obviously on the PFF board there, DL is one of their biggest ones, and that's assuming that the Browns also take a wide receiver that's there. I think there could be another position where we see straight 3 wide receivers going off the board immediately, and we see Tate, Tyson, and Mekhi Lemon all go back to New York, Cleveland, and Washington. That's another one we could see, but there are so many different combinations that we could see there.
I think this is kind of like a spicy little thing where you could shake some stuff up. That to me looks right and feels right. What I tend to not care about so much is Kansas City. I hate that they're getting a decent top 10 pick because they seem to be doing perfectly fine. But yeah, what are they doing here? Are they going to go receiver at this point?
I don't think so. I'll let lead on this. I've got a take on what exactly what they'll do here, but I've been intrigued to hear what Alex says.
Go on, big boy.
The specific thing says, and the rich get richer. Line help has been such a need for the Chiefs. They pick up the top talent. Wide receiver could be one, but it's there. I think they go Francis McGuire at the O-line. He is the best tackle prospect in this class, and he is a absolute freak. He is awesome. He's so good, man. And at 6'6", 315, as you see on your screen there, he is. He's the guy. Like he's an American Samoan dude, and you are gonna have him for his entire career. He will be there, and he will definitely protect your quarterback, and he will die trying. He's an absolute legend, and I think he will be the Chiefs pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to really like this guy, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't make me like the Kansas City Chiefs. How dare you, Francis?
The loss of Tooney last year, which they had to do to pay for Trey Smith, really hurt them. Their line was not taken a massive fall off last year. And the key to success for the Chiefs is Mahomes. Protect Mahomes, and it doesn't matter really who he's throwing to. They'll get decent vets on a cheap deal, so don't worry about overdrafting wide receivers. They've done that with really bad wide receivers. And Rashee Rice, it just came out that he's not going to face punishment. He's not going to get any suspension, Rashee Rice, this next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's so sad.
So, yeah, I think Marigoa is the way to go. Or Marigoa, how we pronounce it, is the way to go. I think exactly what they will do. They'll just fall into their, like you say, their starting left tackle for the rest of Mahomes' career, and it'll be really annoying.
Yep.
Well, the crowd, not a great big fan of that one. That's interesting to hear from the totally legit, definitely not digital, definitely not clicked on by me crowd. Back on the clock with the number 10 pick from the Cincinnati Bengals, the New York Football Giants, having already done some pretty decent work 5 picks prior with Sonny Styles. They're set for linebacker. It says here, still safety guard, receiver, and Caleb Downs is just sat there. Like, they're going to win this. No. Oh, the big board says no. Alex, talk to me.
I actually had them taking Carnell Tate, but you guys took the Carnell Tate for the Browns, so it would be Jordan Tyson. I have them going wide receiver, which obviously it's Jordan Tyson. Really, he's the second best, even though PFF disagrees with me, and obviously has him ranked 19 out of all their players, and Mekhi Lemon above it. I personally think Jordan Tyson is a better fit for the Giants because he complements Malik Nabers. He doesn't copy Malik Nabers.
Yeah. I completely disagree, and I've got a more spicy take on this. I think their wide receiver room is good enough. I think with Malik Nabers, they've got Darnell Mooney signed as well. Slayton and Calvin Austin as a fourth. I think that is good enough. Completely off this, I think they take Peter Woods. I think they go and take their replacement pick for Sexy Dexy and go Peter Woods. That draft pick there is way too low. That he's not going there. The latest he's going is maybe 20. I just don't see him going to 33. I think Peter Woods is the pick here, and I think it's the right pick.
Gosh,
athletic testing has dropped his. He's dropping this for PFF. They're seeing athletic testing. His RAS was like 7.59. His production on the field was elite. He just looked an absolute monster, and I think he could look the steal of this draft even at 10.
He is. I'm not going to lie. He is a monster. I completely agree with you. I have him going to the Vikings at 19.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I'll say this now. I literally had a dream the other night that he was drafted by the Bears at 25. I dreamt about Peter Woods, which is a very, very sad thing to do.
Yeah, that's a very weird thing to do. But do you know what? I hate it because I obviously everyone wants them to take wide receiver, including me, because obviously then I'll be right on my big board. But I don't hate it as well because a lot of that defense was so underperforming last year.
Yeah.
So
you talked a big game about the defense last year. You made us all fall hard for the New York Football Giants defense.
And you know what? Like, obviously, getting rid of Sexy Dexy there, and then obviously already getting Sonny Styles, and then getting another one on that thing, going double defensive end on that. I really like it. And do you know what? It puts a lot of faith in Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, and obviously the Malik Neighbors guys there. Harbaugh must like what he sees if that's the situation. But we also know from John Harbaugh teams that he loves drafting defensive players. And I've said this a million times, and I will say this a million times about this draft, are freak athletes. And Peter Woods is a freak athlete. He's absolutely disgusting. So I mean, I don't hate it. I do because I think they go by receiver, but I love the balls. I absolutely love the balls.
I think a tip of the hat goes to Pete and his onions on that one, but I think it's too out there for what it is. And I think that although you'll get a bunch of pundits agreeing with Pete saying this guy knows ball, this is the move. I think a lot of other ones would be like, you are struggling, you need a receiver. Even though Pete says that they don't, a lot of people also need receivers. And if they are even contemplating slightly working out Odell Beckham, that to me stinks of desperation. I'm going to have to, again, tip of the hat to you, Pete. But Jordan Tyson, you are a New York Football Giant. I can see the disappointment in your eyes, Pete.
It's okay. It's okay. You might fall.
I'm gonna give you the floor for Echo the Dolphin here. Sorry, Alex, Echo the Dolphin was a Mega Drive game back in like 1992.
No, I know what Echo the Dolphin is.
Impossibly difficult game.
Oh, it's so hard. So tough.
Hard.
So difficult.
Spent so long on that second level just swimming around going, where do I go?
There's a second level?
Flexing.
Pete got game. All right, go on. Who's Miami taking?
Miami are very much in a position of just get good players. They need decent players. They need quality all over the field. Caleb Downs seems the obvious one because he's falling. I don't see safety as a premium position when you're trying to rebuild your team. I think Fano makes more sense. Bulk up that line. I really would have liked who went to the Commanders.
Oh, the cornerback, Mansour Delaney.
I'd have liked him here as well, but they're just really, really talent poor. I think there's a logic of saying, let's take Fano here and start to build a good, strong line ahead of the first overall pick when we're taking Arch Manning next year.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way they go. I think they undervalue safety here because you can get them cheap. The best safeties in the league they can afford to get in free agency. The best tackles are a bit more of a hit, so I think they go Spencer Fano, personally.
I don't hate it because he's 6'5", 311.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's why I don't
I need
hate
to
it.
sit down.
He's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, whoever, like, and by the time it hits January, he will be 4'10", 210, because he'll just sweat it all out down in Miami. But like, I don't hate it. He is an absolute massive meathead, and he will protect whoever is there and immediately improves their offensive line. So if they're going to get anything going, Spencer Fano could be a really good option for them. Yeah, completely get it. And as you see on there, games played 12, 12, 13. He never really misses games. He plays consistently, and that's always what you want. Like, he is very, very good.
Yeah.
Fano is somewhat undersized for the position. 6'6", 308.
By the
Good work,
way,
PFF.
By the way, 308 was the combine weight, and they shed weight in combine so that they can run faster and get better like stats. He will probably be closer to when he reports for training camp. I wouldn't be surprised if he's 320.
His scoring actually got better at his pro day after as well. On pretty much his weight was basically the same and his height was the same, but his actual testing got better. After his pro day when he started with the shuttle and 3 cons as well. His athletic profile is immense, 9.8 on the RAS, so he's a really, really, really good. 34.
I'm leaning Fano, big board. Talk to me.
I had Caleb Downs just because he's a horrible person and the Dolphins are collecting them.
Yeah, understandable. They do like a horrible person.
Let's not.
I like that Fano pick. I think that anybody would be lucky to have him. It's probably what his mother says. So Fano, welcome. You are a Miami Dolphin, and this is where your real felony comes in. Caleb Downs, can't believe his luck that at the 12th pick he's managed to snag Caleb without having to trade up, which is what I assumed they might end up doing. It got to be at this point. I know it doesn't have them as need, but often best player possible. Like, there's nothing wrong with depth. It's nice to have a absolute elite, and he's got to be the top safety on the in the draft.
Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. Like, everybody has under the suspicion, all the draft heads think Dylan Thinnerman, who is just below Caleb Downs, will be the next person off the board to the Cowboys because they are going safety this draft. They are going safety. So if Caleb Downs is there, they're drafting Caleb Downs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely agree.
He's there on ours. I think that he's
the culture fit, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's a steal for everybody down in Jerry's world. LA, all I've seen anyone talk about, I don't know why anyone has said that they need a tackle or a linebacker, because everyone just keeps talking about wide receiver, and that's it. Nobody has said anything other than wide receiver, which blows my mind.
Well, Devante's aging out, and Puka Nacua is one more podcast away from being cancelled. So that's probably what they're thinking.
And it could be this one. Puka, if you're out there, if you've got one to go, we could be that one.
Let's do numbers.
Yeah, get my agent on the phone. It's just the Kermit the Frog that sat behind me. I can't see past wide receiver, but yeah, go on, Pete.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if they took tight end here. I went Kenyon Sadiq. Get an elite tight end prospect. They play a lot of 13 personnel as well. They use tight ends a lot in there. It's another weapon. It helps with the blocking. It keeps Stafford upright. This team is built off Stafford while they can, and they've got to be striking while the iron's hot. It makes so much sense to take Kenyon Sadiq here. There is another tight end a little bit further down that I actually like more than Sadiq, whose name's escaping me. Eli.
Elias Dowers is good. Yeah.
I really like him, but I think Sadiq might be the pick here, and just get another weapon that helps with the blocking, that helps with that scheme. It's just such a nice scheme fit, and their best tight end is Higbee, so it's not like it's a super stacked room. So he's got real potential there to grow as well.
Plus, Kenyon Sadiq, 6'3", ran a 4.39 40.
And that's why he's shot at draft boards, isn't it?
So, like, he is very good. He is very, very good. And like, he's a big boy. He can block. He can run. He can catch. He fits in this system. However, there is one thing that the Rams love doing more than they love playing really a lot of tight ends, and that is having a lot of really good wide receivers. Makai Lemon is also the other one that's there. It's a coin flip from here. Makai Lemon is different to what they've got in Puka, what they've got in Devontae, and done everything like that, because Makai Lemon can catch anything you throw at him. That's the really good thing about Makai Lemon. He has glue hands. Like, you throw a ball to him, he's catching it. And he's not only going to catch it, he's going to run in traffic. And he's going to dodge absolutely everything. So whichever one you like is taken by the Rams here at 13, Matt Stafford's going to be overly giddy because he's going to really like his new toy.
Yeah, well, I think just because the consensus tends to be wide receiver, I'm excited to see somebody take Sadiq somewhere. I assume he's still going to be in our first round. But for me, they're squeezing one more season out of Matt Stafford. And what is he good at? He's good at making Hall of Fame wide receivers and people just absolutely blowing the doors off of things. So when they say to him, hey, Matt, we're going to get you yet another weapon, he's going to be super, super duper happy. Makai Lemon, you are squeezed into the LA Rams. Oh, they haven't updated their logo here. By the way, terrible logo change, LA. You just made it really flat, yellow, boring thing. Look how nice. Look how different this was. Yes, you incorporate the Chargers logo into your original logo. That's not the point. It looked great. It was really nice. The jerseys look exactly the same. I don't know why people are getting like all kind of like, oh my God, it's slightly different. It's so much better. It's the same. It's the same. And I think they have scrapped the bone jerseys, which I'm actually really gutted for because I liked them quite a lot.
But now you can get them on the cheap.
Yep.
Waiting for it. Yeah. I haven't seen.
I'm waiting for the reduced bone jersey.
Yeah. I got my like Elite Fuse to a Tonga Vailoa jersey delivered. I can't remember. It must be upstairs. Because it was supposed to be $174. It was $49.
Wow.
Nice. It took a little bit to ship from the US, but good Lord, the quality. Like, anyone don't order anything from FansEdge over here or NFL Euro Shop. If you're getting a jersey, don't do it if it's a UK based company because they just use horrible iron-on stencils and they fall apart. This thing that I brought from the US is absolutely stunning, and it all works like much better. And yeah, if you get anything reduced, like jump on there because there's always good stuff, especially with all the teams that have changed their jerseys at the moment. You can get some decent things. But the Baltimore Ravens are on the clock, and I've heard nobody say anything about the Ravens at all. So I'm gonna flip to the big board on this one. Alex, what's the board telling us?
His name is very hard to pronounce, but he's a guard from Penn State.
There we go.
Which is
guessing Penn State on this.
Valana Ione.
Oh, it's like when I do story time with my 5-year-old. It's brilliant. Try again.
Thanks, man.
Oliver Vega?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
let's go with that one.
I'm taking that.
That one's better. Olgavina.
Is that Ione?
Olgavina Ione. Let's go with him. From Penn State. Look, the Ravens need O-line help. They need size. They need speed.
Not new lines.
This guy is absolutely both. He is. He's very good. The Ravens will take him.
Yeah, the Ravens need, again, that team centers around keeping Lamar upright and finding holes for Derrick Henry. While there's still some kind of track left on the Derrick Henry tires, and they've lost quite a few players, actually, haven't they? In terms of that line, since Harbaugh left as well at the end of the season. So any help they can get on that line, they've got a good line. They've got Simpson, who just brought in, who was an ex-Raider, I think, as a guard. They've got Voorhees. They're good at tackle, but I think they need that support there, and another warm body is going to be welcome there. And at this high, when's the next time you think Baltimore are going to be picking this high? I can imagine it's going to be a few years. So get a position of value.
Yeah, get good. And yeah, loved. We'd see Penn State not be like super high up. Interesting year for them, obviously. Definitely going to stick that one across there. I like it. Love a good guard. All the Saints that we used to draft was guards at one point, so you just got to be like, well, here we go. Support the guards. Guards. On the clock, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers apparently need a tight end, a guard, an edge rusher, and a linebacker. That's a lot of stuff to be needing, I reckon, in this draft. Now, are we looking at your boy Kenyon Sadiq?
I think so. Yeah.
Does the big board say Kenyon Sadiq?
The big board actually said Spencer Fano, but he's got.
Yeah, because threw it. Yeah,
I was gonna say we
mainly because Spencer Fano is, as we've already discussed, 6'5", 311 pounds. If Baker Mayfield stands behind him, he's got 3 of him.
It's like they have an extra body on the line.
Like there is no way that like anyone is getting past Fano to get to Baker Mayfield, and he would be absolutely fine. So yeah, the big board on Fano, but I really like Kenyon Sadiq. I think he's great. So yeah, go with him.
Yeah, tight end room sucks. They've just lost Evans, so they need a receiving weapon, and we know that Baker's favorite weapon in Cleveland was Njoku. So he works well with tight ends as well. So it's just a really nice fit.
Yeah, not mad at that. I can't see anything other than that there. That fits too well for it to go any further. Close your eyes, chop the head off a chicken, throw it in the middle of a spinning roulette, and see what the Jets end up doing at the 16th pick. Nobody knows, but they need a bunch of stuff. I assume that we've... what did we do earlier? Edge rusher. Yeah, good, really good. Good pick. Now, the Jets have the opportunity to not mess it up here. I don't think now's the time to be drafting a QB.
No.
You can save it till third, fourth round or next year. That's going to be perfectly fine. They've taken an edge rusher in our case. So the needs we've got are wide receiver corner. Pete, have you got any thoughts on the Jets at 16?
Yes. They will take the highest rated player that's going to bust. Because that's what they do.
I like it. I like it a lot. McCoy.
if we're going for fit, McCoy makes sense. They need wide receiver help. Their wide receiver room is the worst in the league, quite comfortably.
But so's their
It's Garrett,
QB room.
it's Garrett Wilson and Adonai Mitchell. Yes, but you're not going QB here. They're not taking Simpson.
No, I'm not saying take QB. I'm saying that your QB room is so bad.
Yes.
You're going to waste a year of someone's career when really
most most GMs will look to their head coach and then draft in a line with their head coach. Now they've got Aaron Glenn, so defense makes sense. McCoy seems like a really, really obvious fit. He fills the need that's left by Sauce Gardner. He's the second cornerback on the board.
Yeah.
So although not necessarily an elite talent, he's one of the better in the class.
Yeah.
I think that works. I could see them taking KC Conception here, but I think it ends up. I don't think they're trying to see what Geno Smith has. No. So it's not like, let's get a second wide receiver and see what Geno Smith has, and then we'll be fine. Or Justin Fields, for that matter. So I think go with McCoy, and then next year they will probably go quarterback and wide receiver and do the Caleb Odunze type thing of pairing them to grow together.
Yeah. Big board.
Aaron Moreau for Wheeling.
Oh, okay.
Because their O-line sucks. Their O-line is very bad.
It is, but their tackles aren't.
No.
Fashanu and Membu are good tackles.
Yes.
Interior offensive line needs a bit more work, but
Freeling has experience of playing the interior of offensive line.
Okay, yes, you think just converted to guard?
Yeah, so it's not just a tackle. He is also he's one of them that can play tackle guard kind of thing. And so can I will butcher his name, but it's the second one that you said.
Oh, KC Conception?
No, the tackle for the Jets.
Oh, Membu. I'm a Membu.
Membu's also got experience playing there. He played there for a couple of snaps last season because of injury. So they can do either. They've got flexibility across that. I just think if they get Freeling in, it kind of is right. Okay, that's not one thing we need to worry about now. Mm-hmm. We've got our guys. This is it. And they're all on rookie deals. They're all there. We're not going to even get rid of them for the next couple of years. They're all ready. We're sound. Right, let's go get a QB. We've got a good wide receiver. We've got a good running back when he's fit. Right, okay, we've got the guys. Let's do this. Let's see if we can do this. I think that's the other thing that's Aaron Glenn's thinking is going, yeah, let's go. But I don't mind the McCoy thing. The only thing that could be the issue with McCoy is that he was obviously injured all season last year with the ACL.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is there's got to be a little bit of, in their minds, they've got a defensive head coach and there's people constantly repeating to them every single interview, you didn't get an interception all last season. You didn't get an interception all last season. 100%. So I think that will sway their thinking towards secondary. Whether it's cornerback or
pressure to put on somebody to come off a season-ending injury to come to a team that didn't get an interception.
It's a lot of pressure coming off the best season of your career going to the Jets.
Yeah.
So
you're going to save them, yeah.
You could take either McCoy or Thiemann here, and it wouldn't be an issue. Like you could have either of them. Like Thiemann can go across both the safety and the strong safety. He can also play in that slot as a third kind of cornerback if you really wanted to be disgusting about it. But McCoy is that out and out corner ball hawk kind of guy that would try and match up physically with other wide receivers. Now, is he there physically because of the injury he had last season? That's for somebody else behind the scenes that I don't know.
Honestly, the injury makes it feel such a Jets pick that I'm going with it. It feels like there's going to be some teeth dryers out there just going, I know they need a corner, but I'm not sure that was the time to do it. So that's what I think. And plus, it's the pick that they got from Indy, which they got from Sauce Gardner. So much like George Lucas says, it rhymes, doesn't it? They likes things to come together like that. So with the pick that they got for Sauce, they got their replacement Sauce. Which brings the Lions onto the clock. And Alex, I know you were struggling with what to do there. So I'm going to come to you in a second because, Pete, do you have a definitive idea of what the Detroit Lions were going to do?
The next 2 picks to me are the easiest in the entire draft with how the board looks. It's 100% Freeling here. The Lions they built their success a couple of years ago on a really, really strong line. They've lost so many bodies on that line through retirement and whatnot. They need to fill in, whether it means moving a tackle to guard and just having an absolute unit. Monroe Freeling is a freak athlete. Again, 9.99 RAS. He is enormous. And having him in there where you can plug him in at guard to start with and then have that flexibility at tackle as well.
Whoa, big boy.
He's humongous. Yeah.
315.
I think he's just seems like such a Dan pick.
Yeah, he is Dan Campbell player. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it just screams obvious pick to me.
Yeah.
And Alex, you were struggling. What did you end up landing on? Because Freeland wasn't there, I assume, when you were doing the big board.
I landed on McCoy, who we've just taken.
Okay. So there was no wrong answers really for the Jets. It was just going to be.
Yeah, it was going to be. It was basically best player available for the Jets, and whether it was McCoy or Freeling, I thought that Freeling could have obviously made the impact, as I said. But that's not saying that he's a terrible player. He will make an impact and make the Lions very, very good. And if he's there and their running backs are exactly the same as they were last year, they will make the playoffs.
They're not. They've switched, haven't they?
Yes, yeah, but you understand what I mean. Like
they've got to give. They're fine.
Yeah, they'll make the playoffs. They're going to be fine.
We're not worried about the Lions,
No.
even though last year I was. So I guess we'll see, but we'll say that for the prediction podcast. Lions back to back, not going to do very well. Who said that? So Pete, you said that the next 2 picks were obvious. We had Freeling there, and you've got the Vikings taking
Tiedemann.
Yeah,
Tiedemann. Every single draft I see, every conversation about how good Tiedemann is, particularly from Bears fans as well, is there's no chance he's getting past Minnesota. He might not fall to Minnesota. We've got him falling here. If he does, there's not a chance they pass him up. No. He's just too good a fit. This is square peg, square hole. And if the draft falls like this and the Lions and the Vikings get those players, I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
I'll be really pissed.
If I was a Bears fan, I'd be absolutely fuming. To be fair, we obviously had Caleb Downs in the spot of the Cowboys, and on the Alex Big Board, we had Tiedemann going to the Cowboys because, again, he would have been a great fit there. It is best player available. But for safety help, if you need it, you take Tiedemann. I feel for the guy, I really do, because he's almost fallen to pick 20 when he does have that kind of like top 10 draft grade, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he's fallen. But that's just the way the draft works sometimes, isn't it?
And to be fair, if you're a top 10 talent and you can fall to 20 and you believe in yourself, you'd rather that, surely. You'd rather go, actually, I'll forego a couple of £1 million here to go to a really, really good team. And it's so important for them when they've got Goff, Williams, and Love in that division. They need that secondary help because all of those guys like to go deep. They are not shy about throwing bombs. So you need good help on the secondary.
Yeah, sorry, Pete. It's going to be a tough time for Caleb by the looks of it based on our draft. And on to the weirdly high picking Panthers at 19. Even they're surprised. They just heard me say Panthers at 19 and panicked. So, yeah, look, in my opinion, the Panthers need everything. Everything that they had worked somehow, but it feels like a car where everything's rattling and you're just trying to get to your destination, and you made it, and then everything fell off because it wasn't the like AAA kind of like grade that you want. And down here at 19, I don't think they would go wide receiver. I mean, it depends who's available again at this point. See, I've not seen anything on any of these, so I can't really comment. I'm just thinking that they did Wash Man with the largest wingspan I've ever seen that they drafted.
Tim McMillan.
Panthers receiver. Yeah.
Tim McMillan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a gangly fella. I like him quite a lot. So I don't think that they do that here. I think they would have loved if your man at tight end fell down, Sadiq.
Yeah.
Agreed. And they need defensive line and a center. I'm going to the big board first on this one. Alex, what do the Carolina Panthers do?
In the big board, Kenyon Sadiq fell, so they took Kenyon Sadiq. So they took Kenyon Sadiq. But I have backup, and the backup is Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver.
All right, yeah, down there.
The Cardinals are going to take a third wide receiver straight because they believe in Bryce Young, and they're going to stack everything that they can possibly do to get Bryce Young to work. God damn it!
Right, how tall is he? No. Unless you're 6'4", no. I don't think that they get receivers that are under 6'3". Yeah.
They'll never see each other.
Yeah.
So the really good thing about Omar Cooper Jr. is he is not what you've got in Zach and in the other one that's absolutely amazing. That his name escapes me for them. Omar Cooper Jr. As it said, there is a wide receiver too. I actually think he would be amazing in their slot. I really, really do. I think just as getting that like open whenever he's there, he can make good catches. His catching traffic is absolutely sadistic and brilliant. And even though he is not the biggest man in the world, good luck trying to get that ball off him.
Yeah. I see it because there's wide receiver. They've got Tet, and then it's Jalen Coker is their wide receiver too.
Thank you.
The Panthers are okay everywhere. And that's probably the best way to put them. They're okay everywhere. They need upgrades all over the field to get better. Even just need Jonathan Brooks to be healthy to see if he's any good. Instead of just playing Chuba Hubbard. They just seem like they don't have many holes, which is why they made the playoffs. And they're in a rubbish division.
Yeah.
They need elite players. I think if it's wide receiver, I'm going to say two players here that I've said before. I think if they go wide receiver, I actually think the OKC Conception over Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay.
But I think they also are another team in the Peter Woods sweepstakes.
Yeah.
As well. I think he'd be a really, really nice fit there. They need help on that defensive line to take pressure that way. Again, I think this ranking is way, way too low on him. It fits nicely.
Yeah. I really like that Peter Woods one.
I want to see Peter Woods drafted. I'm sticking him in our preseason Hall of Fame because, by Jove, you've convinced me. So I want him to go somewhere. These guys need defensive linemen. I think because what you're saying about that ADP being like far too low, this could be they know what they're doing pick there. And again, look, there's a bunch of receivers, day 2, day 3, to go and get a bunch, chuck some at the wall and see what happens. You're just going to end up with that. And everything that you said about Peter Woods here, which I love as a mashup of you two. And on a team that I tolerate. Yeah, Peter Woods, welcome to the Hall of Fame. We're going to put Peter Woods watch now from here to eternity. I'm afraid they're not on Hard Knocks. That would have been quite nice. But we'll keep an eye out and hope that maybe we get the pick right. And then on to Jerry's World and the Dallas Cowboys, who've already, if I roll back up, to Caleb Downs, absolute steal at safety at pick number 12 in our draft, our one and only draft here. So they still need, everything that it says there, defensive line, linebacker, and corner. Pete, what do you reckon?
I think here it's best player available. I think CJ Allen makes too much sense from again, square peg, square hole. I actually think they go Messidor. But they talked really a lot last year about stopping the run. Big thing for them is stopping the run because they've got Saquon and Jalen in there. They've got Jaden Daniels in division as well. Yeah. And Eagles, Cowboys, Washington. Who's the fourth team in the East? So I'm having a mind blank.
New York.
Giants. Okay. And Jackson Dart, they've got a running quarterback. Everything has to be about stopping the run. It matters to them. That's the one thing that Jerry said right. So I think CJ Allen and getting linebackers out that can stuff the run will help them an awful lot. It might not necessarily be the best value in terms of quality of player, but impact, what it can do for that team, I think works.
Big board. Talk to me. You're going to have to do some convincing because they need a linebacker. He's the best player available. It's the Dallas Cowboys who, need to stop a bunch of things from the run. What did you have here?
My thing actually says best player available, but it says in brackets who is a cornerback. So, for me, their cornerback room is arguably the worst. It is the worst in their division. It is the worst in their division. It's arguably the worst in their conference, and it's even more arguably the worst in the entire league. So, going Colton Hood, going a Chris Johnson. I don't mind either. Corner's pretty easy for them, and doing that lot. But I wouldn't mind also the CJ Allen pick. I quite like it because yes, as Pete said, they need really a lot of run stopping.
Yeah. I mean, last year they were awful. I mean, you remember some of those games that they had where they just scored so many points and it didn't matter because their secondary, their entire defense sucked. Absolutely sucked. I don't understand how Eberflus left that to go straight into another job. Pittsburgh? Has he gone to?
Yes. Yeah.
Because they were just abysmal. So they need help everywhere. But yes, their cornerback room was complete ass last year, and they do need help there, but they need help everywhere, is my only thought on that. Trayvon Diggs, has he left? Did I miss that Diggs had gone? I mean, he wasn't great last year, but he was a starting.
Yeah, he's gone. Definitely gone.
I mean, he was always a product.
It was that bad week to be a Diggs, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, it was. Yeah. Because he went same week. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilariously bad to be a Diggs person that day.
He plays for the
I think the most Jerry thing to do here is to say, I'm a man of my word, and best player taken, yada yada yada, gonna stop the run. And they're going to stop the run, but people are going to stop running. And they're going to throw so many long balls over the top of the entire Dallas team. And everyone's going to go, Jerry, why were you focused so hard on stopping the run? He can't do right for doing wrong here. He could have taken a corner at that point, and people would have been like, there are so many rushing threats in your division. So that have been damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I think he's going to stick by his classic, smash mouth. Football is still a thing. Everyone just runs. It's a runner's game. We need to stop that, when in reality, it's more of a passing league than anything. I think that CJ Allen one goes there. Also, it's a name that sounds like somebody that already exists in the NFL, so I'm going to get super confused somewhere down the line and be like, wait, CJ Allen, is that the guy? No, different guy. Which brings us to Pittsburgh, who again, wild that they're this far down the draft. They have no right being on this half. Thought they were going to be really poor, but apparently not. Rodgers is still a thing. Hasn't signed. McCarthy said, I would like to work with him again, and that's fine. Yeah. Obviously, it's not the usual circus that we've had for the past 2, 3, 5 years of Rodgers, but are we assuming that he's going to still be there? And if the Steelers were to, I mean, they're not going to take a QB, but if they were to take a QB here, that would be seen as a spit in the eye, a biting of the thumb at you, sir. So they're not going to go QB.
No, they're trading back in with the Seahawks at 32 to get their QB. Okay. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to get Simpson just to get that 5th-year option. They've got tons of picks. It's a rubbish class. They'll trade back in with the Seahawks. They'll move back for a 27 pick potentially to get Simpson at 32, or maybe even Drew Allard in the 2nd round and just push it that way. They're not going that here. I don't see it.
So here as well, I've heard nobody talk about another running back. So toss that out in round 1, which leaves for their needs guard and tackle. Big board. What are we saying?
I've got 2. I've got 2 written down because I kind of I wanted one of them to already have gone, but they didn't. So my 2 are either Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, safety, or Casey Conception, wide receiver, Texas.
Okay.
He's smiling at me because he wants Emmanuel McNeil-Warren to drop.
I actually don't. I don't want McNeil-Warren at all. I see this differently. Yeah.
I like it. Go.
They've just put Alex Highsmith and other edge on the block. There's rumours that they're trading both of their defensive ends. So there's a full change of scheme at defence. So I wouldn't be surprised if they trade those guys to get some picks and they need to replace one and go Akeem Mesidor. I think how this happens, it's not showing us a need now because the trade hasn't happened. But I think somebody is going to snap their hands off for Alex Highsmith. And I think that's how it ends up going, and they go in as a defensive end and just trade them away and go, right, we're going to go Mesidor and TJ Watt. Yeah. Good luck, other teams.
Yeah, pretty much.
How I see this.
Yeah, I didn't know about the trade, so that's why that's there. That makes perfect sense. If the trade is just, if the trade is just, we're just seeing what feathers we can ruffle before the draft, then McNeil-Warren and Casey Conception work, because McNeil-Warren, as I've said before, can play across all of them safety options, and really, really, really good, all-round kind of player, can also do some serious blocking. And if they are changing their scheme, then it might need to be kind of a mini 2-way player in that kind of setup as a safety. And Casey Conception is the definition of a slot receiver. That is the one thing they don't have, because obviously they've got DK Metcalf. Oh, sorry. I should call him by his full name. I apologize. That's on me.
DeKalin.
I was going to say Dickensian. I couldn't remember it then.
I apologize.
Like an orphan boy in London, Dickensian.
I really apologize. But yeah, they've obviously got DeKalin, and then they obviously traded in the offseason for Michael Pittman Jr. So that's their 1-2. And then if they were to get Casey Conception, that's the 1-2-3. Boom. That's their wide receivers done. Casey Conception is your short range guy. You use him, and if Aaron Rodgers really likes him, which could happen, but the issue with KC and why he's this far down and not in the same conversation as Lemon, as Tyson, as Tate, is because Conception had 7 drops last year.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of issue.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning that the Steelers have got 12 picks this year. Well, you've got 12 picks in a talent poor draft, they are absolutely moving up. Whether they move up from here higher in the first to get one of those elite players, or they just move from the second into the first, like I've suggested, to get someone like Simpson, I don't know, but they are definitely moving up. So ignore what their draft picks say, because it's not how it's going to work out.
No.
They'll either move out, or they'll either move up, or they'll trade out to get 2027 picks.
Yeah, and then just smash it out completely, and like go kind of 8-8, really, like, and just have 8 picks next year, and just really destroy it and see that, because you could get a first round pick for this, because as you've already said, Messidor's on the board still. Keldrick Falk is absolutely a dog, and then obviously we've also spoken about Cooper Jr. as well. So there are teams that need these kind of weapons. So that trade could also be really great.
Yeah.
I am going to hand off the responsibility for this pick to Alex. Has Pete convinced you another way, or are we sticking with the board?
No, Pete's managed to convince me in this one. I think I didn't know about the trade. I just didn't know about the trade that was there. Edge. I didn't know about the trade. Messidor. Even though it screws up my next pick, but Messidor's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine.
And your next pick would have been.
You're a dick. You're actually a dick. Yes, on the big board, the Chargers were going to pick Messidor, mainly because he had 12.5 sacks and 17.5 tackles for loss last season. He's an absolute freak. He's so good.
You just said the same about Falk, though, as well. Are we settling here and we're sticking with an edge?
We are. We're not going for an edge. We are going for an edge, but we're going the other side. We're going TJ Parker from Clemson, please.
Wow. I really thought, after all of your complaints last year, this was absolutely a home run offensive line pick.
All of the good ones are gone. All the good ones are gone. The only other one that's there is Max Anitior.
Yes. That right? We'll be discussing him in 3 picks' time. Thank you very much.
We'll we'll actually be discussing him in 1 pick's time, if that's the case. But yes. But he's a right tackle, and we've got one.
Yeah.
So no. With Khalil Mack being Khalil Mack and being older and doing that lot, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
He can recycle in and out, and it's just depth. And if Harbaugh and everyone can really just develop him, that would be great. If not, then that's not the case. But if he is, then that's great.
Incredible insight there from Alex. Alex already has an idea what would be happening with the Eagles. Pete, I'm wondering if you can keep the homer inside you. What would you have Philadelphia doing at this point?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
There is one thing that Howie Roseman has built a career off. And he's basically got a team that's good and then gone, if I pick best player available every single time, people will always think I'm a genius. And he's done that for about 4 years of just basically agreeing with the consensus draft board and going, well, hey, look at me. And it's worked out well for him, to be fair. The spanner in the works here is the rumor that it's basically agreed that AJ Brown is going to the Pats as of June 1st.
Yeah.
There's serious talk that he's going to be a Patriot. He's going to join back up with LaFleur.
Right.
No, not LaFleur. What was it, Amanda? Vrabel. Thank you. Join back up with Vrabel in New England. If it wasn't for that, it would be McNeil Warren. Best player on the board, was expected to probably have gone by now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to that particular well and go with wide receiver, though, is my other take here, and think that if AJ Brown's gone, they need somebody alongside Devontae Smith. And they might get Kayshon Boutte back. I don't know. As part of that trade, it's not really clear yet. But it sounds like a 27 first as well, which is nice. Because I think a 27 first for the Patriots is going to be really high. suck this year. So I think Casey Conception or McNeil Warren are the two that scream to me. You might have to say a Mark Cooper Jr. Depends on what they like.
And what does the big board think?
Max Anichio, the O-line right tackle, because Lane Johnson's 36.
Yeah. Interesting.
And like you've talked about Harry Roseman going best player available and doing that. The other thing that Harry Roseman's really good at is drafting long-term options now.
Yeah.
When there's probably a year left of them, bedding them in, rotating them out so that they're in the building, they get the vibe, they get this, they get that, they get the other. And Ichio is that guy if they're going to replace Lane Johnson long term. But I don't hate the McNeil Warren thing, because what happened a lot last season for the Eagles was they got beat man to man, a lot of the time against elite wide receivers, especially like when we were going down the stretch and doing that lot. And yes, Jalen Hurts could do with another weapon that he can misuse. That would be absolutely fine. That would again be absolutely fine. So a Casey Conception here, so that Hurts can just dink and dunk for under 10 yards again is absolutely not an issue. The Eagles, as per usual, have it pretty good here.
It's one of those where regardless of what they do, it's going to be, how did we let such and such fall to Philadelphia? And it could be one of three lanes. I'm going McNeil Warren because I like that. I've never heard of the Toledo team before, and I'd like them to get a first round pick. I assume Rockets of Toledo. And we've brought up McNeil Warren a couple of times, and I do like safety. The Cleveland Browns are here to be really safe. Don't ruffle any feathers. We don't want any headlines. We do tend to draft quite well. So we are on the clock instead of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've already taken a receiver. I don't think they need a QB. I think we're in best player available territory, but I would like to see what the big board says first.
The big board says Blake Miller.
Okay, tackle. Yeah, they need it. Yeah. It feels just like safe, isn't it? Like they need a receiver, they need a tackle. Just take them. Let's try and have less hoo-ha around us this draft season. Make good moves, make good choices, which is something I say to the kids every day. They would be crazy not to just take the best player available that they also need. So yeah, I quite like that. Alex, do you want to pick for the Chicago Bears or no? Okay, we'll just skip past these.
I don't want to touch that with a barge ball. I really don't.
No, absolutely not. I think we have a phone in from a Bears fan, actually.
Please welcome.
So,
Max Crosby, everybody.
This is one of the most interesting situations for a Bears fan, but I think it's one of the more intriguing ones. 8 out of the last 9 pick 25s have been traded. Nobody picks at 25th. It always gets traded out. It's a weird one. There's a few obvious needs for the Bears. They need a safety. They lost both starting safeties, and they lost CJ Gardner-Johnson, who came in as kind of a floating slot corner / safety. They lost Kevin Byard, and they lost Jaquan Brisker. They've brought in one safety, a very good one. They need help there. They need help at defensive end, I think they need help at tackle. And this is where it all kind of throws it up. So defensive end, every single Bears fan in the world is screaming, we need defensive end. We need defensive end. We need tackle. We need to help for Montez Sweat to get at the quarterback, because we were terrible last year. the Bears, I think really highly of Austin Booker and ended the season really well. They've talked really highly of Shamar Turner, who they drafted as a defensive tackle, moved to defensive end. He looked good, but then got injured. So we've not really seen enough of him. But Ryan Poles raves about Shamar Turner, who they took in late second last year. So they might think they're set at defensive end. I think they're in a position where they go best player available. The tackle is tricky because they've got Darnell Wright. Right tackle is absolutely locked down. They've got him set, Pro Bowler last year. They've just picked up his 5th-year option. That's all good. Left tackle, Ozzy Trapillo, they drafted in the second last year, but he had that really, really bad injury in the divisional round, and he's going to miss all of this season. And it's such a bad injury that we don't know whether he's ever going to come back. It's at this point, with given his age and everything, it's a 50-50 chance whether he comes back to be the same player that he ever was, probably at best. They've re-signed Braxton Jones on a 1-year deal. Meh. They've got the Canadian Eagle, Theo Bernadette. Meh. He's a warm body. And they've just signed Jedrick Wills, who was a top 10 pick for the Browns, but I just don't see the fit there at all. He's a guy, he's not a angry, I love football type guy. He's kind of lazy. I just don't see how that fits with Ruchar and Ben Johnson. But all of those moves feel like we're going to plug this for a year because Trapillo was the guy and he's still cheap. So if it's me, I'm taking Iheanacho here all day. Solidify that line now and get a really, really good player in. He's at right tackle. He'll move to left tackle. It won't be a problem. And even if Trapillo comes back good, you've then got elite tackles. IHEA is how it starts.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. It's him.
I thought his first name was Ian.
I think Iheanacho's who I want. They might take defensive end, or defensive tackle. The defensive tackle room is garbage. They've lost Andrew Billings. It's Gervin Dexter, fine. It's Grady Jarrett, who is not the player that he was. And then just a bunch of Jags that they picked up in free agency. But I don't think the value is here. So I think that happens second. And I think they take Iheanacho here and just keep Caleb upright.
Obviously I would never agree with you at this point. That was beautifully put. But what I want is you take the pick, and then if they don't take it, you could be like, I have it on record that I said they should have done this.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's why I like Iheanacho here. So that is how they are going to draft. Beautiful. I love that very much. So I need to get rid of the banner from there and it was nice. They'll play that at your BAFTA. Funny, like in the role of passionate Bears fan, Pete Amelia was really good. On to the Buffalo Bills, who have made some moves. They've got better over this offseason already, and they're already a good team. I don't believe they've lost a great deal. So I would love to see what the big board would expect them to do in this situation.
The big board expects them to take TJ Parker.
Okay.
Has he gone? I think he's already gone.
Oh, we're gone. Yeah. You took him.
Yeah.
You took him for the Chargers.
TJ Parker, because on my board, the Chargers had Akeem Mesidor, which
we threw it all off. Yeah,
we can't have other things. The backup one that was actually Keldrick Falk.
Okay, and just go defensive end and just get the opposition quarterback.
Yeah, because he's they play 3-4 obviously. And then just having the most amount of stuff that they can possibly do. Bosa's another year older. Like all yes. Just get somebody in that's an absolute stud. Just do it.
Interesting that most drafted by he's not in there, so it could be on to a winner here. But again, that's because you expected different people to be in different places at that time.
Yep.
Coming down to the final 6 with the San Francisco 49ers. Recently secured themselves Mike Evans, and their tight end was necking many beers during WrestleMania. For those who were watching, every time the camera cut to him, he just downed his drink.
Great.
It was awesome. Yeah. And I saw a video of him meeting the Undertaker and asking really nicely, do you mind signing this for me? And the Undertaker was lovely, signing it like he was signing it for a child. It was a beautiful, heartwarming moment for Kittle, me, and probably Mark Calloway, the Undertaker. But I digress. What do the Niners need, Pete, apart from to get rid of that electrical plant?
Yeah, they are signing a first aid guy. They need warm bodies that are going to last more than the beginning of the season. I think personally here, although there's not necessarily a need for it, there's issues with Jennings' contract at the minute. Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver, that is.
Yeah.
So I think with Cooper Jr. falling here, I think they just snap him up. I think they go weapons. Purdy is a fantastic, still somehow underrated quarterback. They've got good protection because they've just re-signed their tackle, haven't they?
Yes, they just signed Trent Williams.
Yes, for another extension. So he's got another 2 years on there. So let's just go offense, and take an elite playmaker in Amari Cooper Jr. and just keep going that way, keep building that way, and play on their strengths.
When CMC was their best receiver in the first 7 weeks of the season, it screams depth issues, doesn't it? I know, yes, they picked up Mike Evans, but he's older as well. So let's just get bodies. Just keep chucking it at him. To quote Magneto in chess, the pawns always go first, and in the Niners' case, that would be receivers. Alex, what did the big board have for the Niners, even though I've already picked?
Denzel Boston, wide receiver.
Oh, so we were still going receiver. Has he already gone? I didn't.
No, he's still down there.
He's still down there as Omar Boston.
Oh, yeah,
he's a Washington guy, but Omar Cooper Jr. went like 10 picks ago. So that's why he wasn't there. But yeah, Denzel Boston, wide receiver. Just because I completely agree. They need weapons. They just need somebody that can catch the ball.
Just need somebody that can catch the ball. Yeah.
Literally, if they can't get a wide receiver here, call Hunter Renfrow.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Get him a job.
He'll do something for you. Yeah.
Watching Bluey on his phone when you do make that call because you might miss it. Right, but
that's funny.
Good story. Texans, big board, top 5. They did really well last season. They don't need a great deal. Running back's not an option here. What do you have them doing?
Caden Proctor, tackle out of Alabama.
All right, tackle.
Just you got to protect CJ Stroud, man, because when he had time last season, he was lethal, and he was really good. So if you can get more depth in there, you can get another piece in this late first round. Hey, that's all that you want. And if you can make more holes for their running backs, who actually aren't that bad. I mean, one of them's absolutely really terrible, but the other half of them are not that bad. So yeah, it's okay. Caden Proctor. The Texans have actually been drafted over the last couple of years really smart, and I think this just follows that trend.
They've just traded for David Montgomery as well, so they've set that running back need. It feels like the funniest thing they could do is just draft another defensive player after having the best defense ever. We're just going to keep leaning into it.
They could have 2 of the top 10 defense teams, with all different players. They've just got 1A and 1B.
Yeah. and just go, yeah, let's do that. But yeah, I think Proctor just makes too much sense. They need to keep Stroud upright, and they need to make Stroud work as well.
Yes, and somehow Palpatine has returned, and the Kansas City Chiefs are still having another pick in the first round. Trade to them from, I assume, is that the Rams, LA?
Yes.
Yeah, it will be, won't it? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Where's my boo? Where's my boo?
I'm here, boy.
I'm here. There he is. Yeah, that's great. Love that from you.
Kansas City don't care. Hope that they forget that they got that pick and then it moves over to Miami. But should that not happen, they're gonna get a. Have we already taken a receiver for them? I forgot what we already did.
No, it's a tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
Yeah, tackle. So they're gonna go receiver. You'd think at this point they need it.
I don't think so.
No, Shanks.
I think they've got Rashid, they've got Worthy, they've got other names that end in E. They've got Juju Smith-Schuster still, probably. They'll pick somebody up off the street that's decent. I think this is where they go defense, and you can see that looking at those needs as well. You've got people falling with Terrell and Howell that seem like a really nice fit. I think Cassius Howell would work so well in that team to just plug in on that defensive end, because they're again mind blank. Who's there? They've got an elite defensive end who's paid an absolute ton, and I can't remember his name. Chris Jones, thank you. And he's not getting any younger. So I think they bring in, personally, I think they bring in Howell here. I don't think they go wide receiver. Also, they've shown they can't be trusted with first-round wide receivers.
No, they don't do that. Yeah, that's not a good idea.
I forgot that you said that Rice wasn't getting any comeuppance, actually, to be fair. Which, boo, again, hold on. Hold, please. There we go. So yeah, no, now I don't want them to have nice things. Big board, what are we thinking? Are we consensus with, or is it all gone to pot now because we've messed with you?
No, I've got them taking Avion Terrell.
Okay, all right.
Just because that's the thing. I do like the Caleb McDonald one, or like the fact that Colton Hood for some reason is still here. Like, I really like that. Those guys are really, like, both of them are extraordinary players. But yeah, I agree. No, they don't go wide receiver here. They can't. They have to, like, solidify that DB, because as much as their offense is great and has the ability to turn it on, we have to remember Patrick Mahomes isn't there to save them that first 6 weeks.
True.
Steve Spagnuolo has to really make them. If they get out of that 500, hey, the division might not be in play because the Broncos and the Chargers are absolutely going to go off this season. But like, 3 teams can qualify for the playoffs from that division, and most likely will.
Yeah, quite possibly. Although, don't discount the Raiders at this point. I think they could sneak a couple more wins that screws up. I'm not saying the Raiders are going to take that. I just think that they may end up stopping that third position from being able to do it as they're building. The Miami Dolphins already being on the clock today, had plenty of time to think between picks as I scroll and try and work out what we did with them before. Tackle, Fano-tastic. So they've already sorted that out. At this point, surely now it's receiver. I'm just looking at Denzel Boston here, thinking somebody in these last 3 could all take receivers, and this would be. I mean, we're prime for people moving up into these last 3 positions to just grab somebody and get that 5th-year option. But like, if I'm the Dolphins and I need a wide receiver, I think I just take them now at this point. But Pete, what do you reckon?
No, I think you're right. I think they do go wide receiver here. Again, there's that little bit that says, do they take Howell here and take the value? But I think Boston just makes sense. The wide receiver room sucks because has Waddle gone? Did Waddle get traded?
Yeah, Waddle's gone.
Yeah, and
I
Hill's
can't remember
gone.
where, but Waddle has gone.
So they've got nothing left at wide receiver. So yes, get Colton Hood, and it'll be one of those players that will get targeted out of necessity and probably get overdrafted in fantasy football drafts in 2027 because he's took a shed load of volume this year that makes him look better than he is, and they'll draft a better wide receiver along with a quarterback next year. But I think so with Boston, sorry, not Hood, sorry. But yeah, with Denzel Boston, that's going to be the way it's going to go, in my opinion.
Waddle went to the Broncos.
Oh.
Yeah, it is either Boston or concession. There's one or the other.
Yeah.
But they're not basically the same player. Concession's just there. So they're basically the same draft stock at this point.
Yeah.
What feels more Dolphiny at this point?
Conception.
Do either of them have a slight criminal record?
No, but Conception's mad.
Yeah.
Like he's a little bit mental.
Yeah.
He's a little bit crazy.
Used to play in the warm.
Yeah. Like because he's from Texas A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Conception's the fit here. That works too well.
Let's turn the night shift back. There we go. Right. Last two. The New England Patriots. Apparently, they don't need a receiver. So, take from that what you will. Obviously, you were saying about AJ Brown. So, I find that interesting that they could. We all know that they need them. And there hasn't been a trade. But here we are. And PFF is like, no, they just need a tackle, defensive lineman, and a linebacker. That's probably we could have added a fourth need in there, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So, at this point, what are the Patriots doing, Alex?
Cassius Howell.
Yeah, this edge that's just been sat there dying to be taken. His knee is jumping up and down, just hoping for a phone call. Doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of his mother. Texas A&M edge rusher Cassius Howell.
They don't necessarily need it, but if they're going to get somebody that can improve their sack rate this year, then they're going to that wouldn't be a bad idea. It really wouldn't be, because they didn't really do good sacks last year. Didn't really do good sacks last year. Doesn't sound like a good sentence to make. They were bad in the sack category last year.
Didn't do good sacks. I'm getting that on the
2 hours. It's been 2 hours, and I've talked pretty well for 2 hours. I'm allowed one. But yeah, no. At this point, he's the guy because he's dropped so far, and he's been able to do it. He's ranked a little bit higher than that, but we've obviously used other areas of other players. But he would improve them and be a day one starter.
Yeah.
Fair play. Bring us home, Pete. Who do your Super Bowl champions, the Seattle Seahawks, take if they don't end up trading out and getting the QB for somebody else?
Disclaimer, I 100% think they do trade out. But given for the purposes of this, I think they take Caleb Banks.
Ooh.
And I think they go Caleb Banks at that defensive line. They draft really, really well on defense. They tend to zig when others are zagging as well. I think Caleb Banks works as a really, really good fit. And I think next year, their defense was really good this year. I think next year they're pushing the Texans for best in the league. And part of that will be the signing of Caleb Banks, who, again, one of them players of going, why did we let Seattle get him?
Yeah.
Again, it's people valuing edge rather than interiors, just like they do with tackles and guards and outside linebackers versus internal linebackers. And I think he'll be an absolute disruptive force and would just fit like a glove.
Fair play. Yep. Anything from the big board?
I went completely rogue because it's the last one of the thing. And I went the Seahawks get Jadarian Price, running back, Notre Dame.
They'll pick him up in the next round. They're gonna trade out of here. There's going to be the Steelers come in to get their QB, and wherever the Steelers pick in round 2, that's when the Seahawks take their running back. But
the other one that I've got is Emmanuel Pregon.
Okay, so we've got a guard going.
That's the other one that's there, because late round guard pick just seems smart, and that's what the Seahawks do. But I do like the Caleb Banks pick. I really do. I like it.
Can we do it?
That defense.
There we go. We're analyzing the draft. I've earned an award. That's fun. Mock draft sim the game from PFF. So there we go. That's my first round mock draft. Did it give us a grade? Oh, I have to probably sign into something to get that, but I am going to download the image.
Yes. Let's get that.
I'll share that.
Shared.
We'll get that on the Soch, and we'll see how we did. Print one out at home, grade it however you will, and mark those off. I enjoyed that quite a lot. That's really interesting. I'm like way invested in a few of these guys now, which is why I always kind of like to have when it comes up to draft day. I guess just before we go, any weird takes for anybody? I know it's been 2 hours of drafting like that. Feels weird to see you both in like a slightly larger screen. I've had fun. I still think the Cardinals are going to do something silly.
Yeah. I think we're going to see, although we're predicting trades, I think we're going to see a almost record low number of trades, because nobody's going to want to give up assets to trade up in this class. Everybody wants to trade back. Nobody wants to trade up. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yep. I completely left field. I hate that Mendoza's not attending the draft.
Agreed. I think it's a disrespect to the draft and for the people that are there.
Yeah, I really just don't like it whatsoever. I get that you want to say it with family. I completely get it. I get that not all your family can be there, and it's like a big family night, and I completely get that. But you have been the number 1 pick since February. Turn up.
Yeah.
I think that I can say this now because nobody will ever hold me accountable for it. I think we're going to see at least 2 Hall of Fame players in the back half of this draft. They're just being undervalued because of everything else that's around them.
You really like Peter Woods, don't you?
You really like Peter Woods.
You really like Peter Woods.
You really like Peter Woods. And then Anichio is the other one, isn't it?
I'd like to say yes, because he'll look so good just because he's going to have Thingy holding his hand, Tooney holding his hand. It'll make him look amazing. But no, I think it'll probably McNeil Warren. I think McNeil Warren's going to look the steal of the draft.
Ooh. That hurts because the Eagles are just awful.
Yes, agreed.
They sure are. Even their own players think so.
But yeah, no, their own players just think their quarterback is awful.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's how it is. Okay, right. Well, with that, thank you very much, fellas, and to everybody that has commented, come along and watched. We've had an unusual amount of activity for such a down period, so it's been nice to see. But with that, cool outro. Alex is just looking down. We've got a little bunny rabbit action. And I've got You Got This. By the way, we're still live, but got a Skindred vinyl, which came with this weird little puck. That turns out it's just a little USB stick. It's got the album on it as well, isn't it? Love that. Boom. Stick that on your keys. Plug it into something. There you go. Goes to You Got This by Skindred, everybody. Great band, great album.